Folks, what's going on? We are here at the 2014 NCAA National Championships, Oklahoma City. I am here with the one and only Funk Meister, the Funk Master, the Funk Methodologist, everything that you can come up with affiliated with the word funk. Funky Ben right now. Ben Askren, what's up, homeboy?
Nothing. I'm glad you stopped me. It's good talking. I'm ready for this great debate.
Well, let's jump right into it, man. We got a lot of people right now following the whole concept behind funk wrestling, grabbing the leg, rolling to their side on their backs, this and that. You are the man. You have dominated using funk over the last 15 years. You are the best funk wrestler we've seen in the United States over the last 15 years. My argument is going to be very succinct, very clear.
Right.
Not everybody can do that. So can you teach that to everybody? Is it a style that has a long shelf life? Is it transferable to the freestyle scene? Explain a little bit. Something.
Well, I think that's obviously there's a long-winded question for me, but obviously just like every kid can't do a single leg or a high crotch double leg. If you watch the NCAA tournament, some kids got a great single, some kids got a great ankle pick. It's not like there's one funk wrestling. There's moves upon moves upon moves. So you got maybe 50 moves, right? So, yeah, every wrestler can't do all 50 moves, but every wrestler can take a little something here or there and add it to his style to make it a lot better. That's just a fact.
Let's go to the crux of things. I mean, you are a high school takedown artist, so you're more into what I was doing. I mean, You do the 2-for-1, you know the deal, so you dominated. How many takedowns did you have your senior year?
It was my junior year. My sophomore year, I set the state record at 371. My junior year, I went after the national record. I got 401, which I didn't get the record. I didn't have enough matches. Yeah, but I got to college. I tried doing the 2-for-1. I tried taking them down, but the fact of the matter is I just didn't have the athleticism necessary to take elite-level athletes down with single legs and high crotches and double legs. Not saying I had bad takedowns, but I wanted to dominate. I wanted to be the best, and I wasn't getting the results I needed. So I had to find something else, right? So I became a very successful mat wrestler. Had a lot of pins, fourth most ever, and then the funk it was just a style that was fluid. It adapted and it allowed me to score points even when they shot. So when they're shooting, I'm still scoring. That means points are going up on the board. You watch, the best guys today, David Taylor and Ed Ruth. One of the moves I do, I call it the Chirella because Ryan Chirella used it in the 2006 finals against Johnny Hendricks. Actually, right here in this building, right. They wouldn't slap the mat. It was a pin. We all know that. But I call it the Chirella. They both use that really successfully. That's like a great move to score a lot of points off the opponent's shot.
When we talk about funk wrestling, and you say there's different versions, a variety of funk wrestling, to you, do you have it broken down to a science to where it's basic, like Wade Chalice does, or is there a different way that you do it?
No, definitely. I guess I would say the main 3 or 4 that you're looking at are, we got the leg pass, obviously. The guy shoots in, we pass the leg over, and there's a lot of things that can come off of that. We got the cradles, so we got the Chirella cradle. I call it the world's best unknown off a low single attack cradle. So you got that kind of one series. And then you got like the ankle grabbing the ankle series. And then after that, it's kind of like, off a high crotch, you sit the corner. And then after that, it's just a bunch of little small things. But those would be the main 4.
Here's my argument. So I look at somebody like you and I say, yes, Ben is successful with it or was successful with it. But can you teach that to a whole entire team? Is that something that a team can be successful with, or is that something?
You know what? Actually, I'm going to give myself a little advertisement here, if you don't mind. Okay, we have a Funky Fresh Scrambling Camp, and what we did, we tried teaching it at first. And
he doesn't know anything about funk,
come on, you just got to be pretty man here. So what we do is we invite the nation's best wrestlers. So first we started with average wrestlers, but what we came up with is an average wrestler cannot comprehend what I'm showing them, right? So they end up getting themselves in more trouble than good. So you got to have a base. So now it's invite only, and we got kids from 16 states last year to come, bunch of state champs, all kinds of kids, and when they're that good at wrestling already, they get it. You explain it, you teach it, they understand it, you put them in situations, and they understand how can I use these moves into my wrestling style. So no, I don't think you can take a very terrible wrestler and teach him funks, and it's not gonna work. You can take an elite level wrestler, show him a few things, and he's not going to take it all, but he's going to say, okay, this works in my style, this works in my style, this is going to make me better, and he's going to take a few of those things back home with him, and he's going to come off a lot better next year. What do you think about that?
I think it's probably counterproductive of your style of wrestling, Johnny. I didn't know the question to start with, or I'd be...
Okay.
I mean, I think it's pretty simple. I mean, there's this funk element. There's a funk wave right now. Everybody in the United States is kind of buying in, and it's being absorbed by everybody. He's was phenomenal at it. He was the best in the last 15 years at it in the United States.
I'm glad you clarified that.
But in my
Maybe
opinion,
ever. Maybe ever.
in my opinion, it's not transferable. There's a short shelf life to it because you're not going to be. It's upon graduation from college, you're going to pretty much have to put a lot of that stuff on the shelf. How do you feel about it? What is your take on that?
Well, you're going to find different athletes doing different things. I mean, not everyone wants to go on and do international competition afterwards. So, the ones that want to go through their high school career, get a nice education out of it, and collegiate, and then retire and get a job, good family, go through that routine. Funk makes a lot of sense. I mean, because they're not going into freestyle. The percentage, nothing should be done in the States with the Olympics in mind. Unless you're just really focused on it, because every 4 years, 4 or 7 freestylers get to go out of 1 million people a year that we have in folk style. 7 get to go. So why do you change your style for what's going to happen for 7 people? Right. So funk's here to stay, and a lot of people. And
can I add on to him?
Absolutely.
Now, see, here's my just basic argument to your argument is, someone says, well, it doesn't work. Okay, so even if you're the best of the best of the best of the best, I don't care how good you are, at some point, you're going to find someone deep in on a high crotch, deep in on a single, deep in on a double, right? Past the point where sprawling is an effective stopper to their shot. So at that point, you have 2 choices. You either say, okay, this takedown's yours, take it, I'll go down, or you can say,
this ain't over
I
yet.
can scramble, I'm still going to fight.
I think you make a great point. Here's the problem. Kids in America aren't using funk as a 5th line of defense. They're using funk as their 1st line of defense. That's why we're having issues.
Bad coaches then. Bad coaches. The thing is, people don't fully understand it yet. And like and I know, we're around youth wrestling. There's a lot of guys who, maybe they're trying to give a good effort and help the kids out, but the fact is they just don't understand wrestling that well. And then the kid goes and sees something on TV and the coach isn't smart enough to tell him, well, you have to do this, this, and this before you do that. So they just do that, right?
They shortcut the system. They go straight to the funk and forget the basics, good stance, positioning, attack shots. Funk is a backup. I mean, it's very good in the backup position, but you can't win it as a primary.
It's the natural evolution of wrestling. There's a certain point where we either give up and say, you got me, or we fight. That's it.
Folks, we're here at the 2014 NCAA Division I National Championships in Oklahoma City. I have the absolute master, the man has designed funk wrestling and broke it down into a basic style of wrestling. And this is the man who took it to another level over the last 15 to 20 years. He's the best the United States has seen with funk wrestling over the last 15, 20 years. This is Funky Ben. And I'm here with Funky Ben and Wade Chalice. We got the Hall of Famer. We want to thank both of these guys for having this little debate. Funky Ben, Wade Chalice, thank you guys. Inside Out.
We out.